We want to say welcome to the Bottomline Liberia discussions on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Today being the 17th of February 2026, meaning we're going 2 months now in the new year already. And a lot of things are happening around the world and then back home in Liberia. So tonight, my colleague Paul, the Lord Chirupe, and I will be here, or probably will be joined by Francis Mensah, and we'll be bringing you some of the happenings here in Liberia. When we say here in Liberia, even though we are away, but we're talking like we're in Liberia, and we'll also be looking at some things that are happening in the world. As we always say, Liberia is a member of the Committee of Nations, so whatever affects any other country indirectly or directly affect us. So I want to say welcome to my colleague Paul. How was your evening, or how was your week since Friday we were here? Oh no, it was one last Friday, long time ago. One we fell in between, and we couldn't be here. And I have a good reason that I was not here. If you look at my mouth is empty. I had to pull on one tooth here, and so I was not here on Friday. And I think Paul was a bit busy too, and so the show was not here Friday. But we were here last Tuesday, so it's exactly 1 week in between. Paul, how have you been?
Well, Linford, first of all, I want to say good evening to you and to our audience. It's good to be back on the Bottomline Discussion, and I want to say I'm grateful to the Almighty to be among the living, and it's great to be in paradise. I'm good. I've been good from last week when we had a show. Apart from that, I'm just looking forward to another conversation tonight. And I hope that we'll be diving in for some serious conversation. And to our viewers, can they share the show, because it's something concerning Liberia that have touched our heart. The justice system in Liberia will be one of our key topics today. Why is it the justice system? People don't trust the justice system in Liberia. Why is it that people have accused the justice system of being corrupt? We'll be diving into it tonight to find out whether Liberia have democracy or not. We'll be looking at it. Why is it that one person is elected? We say we get 3 branches of government, but when one person is elected, that person have absolute power. So why can we have a dictatorship in Liberia instead of having democracy that we don't really practice? So share the show tonight. It will be hard. We'll be discussing serious issue here. So Linford, that's the summary of it, man. I'm looking forward to tonight's discussion.
Thank you so much, Paul. And to our viewers, like Paul already welcomed you. We also want you to help us share the show, because like I always say, without you, we will not be here, and without us, you will not be there, because you cannot just look at your screen when nothing is happening, and we too, we cannot be talking when nobody's here listening. So together we can have a wonderful, wonderful discussion. You already heard or got a gist of what's going to be happening tonight. So we want to say welcome to the Bottomline Liberia discussions officially.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottomline Liberia.
Okay, welcome to the Bottomline Liberia discussions officially, and we're gonna play you a quick commercial, and it's all about the Bottomline Liberia discussions. We promised you some weeks ago, in fact, right after the new year, that the Bottomline will be taking on a new shape and we'll be doing some new things. So listen to this one.
In a world drowning in noise, where sound bites replace substance, there's a voice cutting through the chaos. Audience with the Lord Chola Play conversation, where Liberians and global citizens tackle the questions we're afraid to ask. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. UK and Liberian time, and 9 p.m. Central European time, Audience with Lord Chola Play. On the Bottom Line, Liberia explores the issues that keep you up at night. Democracy's future in the age of misinformation. Economic systems that serve people, not just profits. Technology reshaping our lives. Reconciliation, development, and the crisis of meaning in modern Liberia. No easy answers, no tribalism, just intellectual courage, genuine curiosity, and the willingness to wrestle with complexity together. This is for Liberians who refuse to shrink their thinking, who believe nuance is wisdom, who are ready to remember how to think, not just what to think. Audience with the Lord Cholo Play Show. Sunday, 8 p.m. Liberian time. Subscribe now. Join the conversation on the Bottom Line Liberia, because the questions that matter most are the ones we're brave enough to ask.
You're watching the review of Liberian newspapers headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Okay, without any time to waste, because tonight I think the docket is full. You know, we don't want to be like the Supreme Court of Liberia that got cases on the docket and they can't adjudicate. So for tonight, but you mentioned we'll go to Liberia, right? But we're starting from the foreign side first. But you mentioned something about Liberia. You talk about the justice system. So just to tease the audience a little bit. Why is it that we have cases from way Ellen Johnson time still on the docket? We got cases from George Yatan still on the docket. Important things. We talk about the death of auditors. One first, then two back to back, and then another one hair chap in the taxi, another one car hit it. The same car that hit it, that seen people took it and carried to the hospital. He died. Then one military guy was supposed to shoot himself 3 times or 5 times in the head. And this is miraculous because one shot can kill a man in the head. But for a man to be shooting himself non-stop, all the cases are on the docket. A beautiful young lady was found dead in somebody's yard. Nothing happened inside. Small baby girls being raped all around the town. Nothing happened inside. But one guy who can cause people mad, he can cause Chief Justice man. The next day, the guy in jail. Oh, so the only way our cases can go fast until we affect or we hit directly at the Chief Justice. So that's just a teaser tonight, Paul. So I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, the thing is, Alifa, you spot on, because people are not satisfied with the justice system in Liberia. So because people are not satisfied with the justice system, so the bottom line discussion have gone into in-depth analysis of the justice system. So the question here is to our audience: is the justice system, how they call it, is compromised, or they require reform, transparency for citizens to gain trust again? So we want to know from the audience as well. So we'll be displaying our number and we want people to drop their comment. Why is it people does not trust the justice system? And equally so, another factor involved, the justice system, the 4 associate justice plus the boss himself appointed by the president. So in Liberia, one man who is elected to office, what they call the executive, this man have absolute power, because while he appoints or she appoints everybody, so they give them absolute power. So the justice system is like they're taking some sort of instruction from the president. Now the question here is that we'll dive into later on, that should we look at constitutional reform, that the justice system, the bar association should now be able to elect their own bosses instead of the president appointing. So, and also to our audience, do we really have democracy in Liberia? Drop your comment, because we don't understand why is democracy. They said 3 branches of government should be independent, but in the case of Liberia, they are not independent. The president have influence over all. So we'll be diving into the discussion tonight. But before Linford, sure, we just want to start with international first, and then we'll dive into Liberia. We're kind of asking all of you to kind of share the show, because we want your input as well. Is the justice system corrupt? What's happening? Do they require reform? Why people don't trust the justice system in Liberia? So let's dive into it. But before we start the conversation on international, it's something that caught my attention, Linford, and this is quite interesting. It's regarding Liberia educational system. There's a young boy who goes around those high schools and meets students, asks them questions, and to my to my surprise, or my amaze, that these children call themselves 12th grader. Some of them, they can't say anything good or answer the young man question. So let me roll this quickly, Linford, and then we can, while our audience sharing the show, let me play this.
Yes.
It's been you.
I'm done with the blogger. I'm here with
Prince Morris.
our Prince. So what's the meaning of WAS?
Was is West African.
For that? So what's the difference between TV and television?
You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious.
So what's the capacity of Motorado?
I always use capacity of Motorado.
What?
The capacity of Motorado
Yes.
is been you.
Shut up, you. Shut up.
Alright, so can you be precise and spell the word Monrovia?
The capital M-O-N-R-O-V-I.
Alright, Prince, it was nice talking to you. Can you spell the word Monrovia for me?
Moravia,
Yes.
M-O-N-R-A-V-I. No, M-O-N-R-A. Wait. What is that? No. Let's say Moravia. Wait. Moravia. Moravia. M-O-N-R-A-V-I-A.
I'm Dama the blogger. I'm here with
Vivian F. Cooper.
Alright, Vivian. So what's your nationality?
Liberians.
So what's your gender too?
Female.
What's the difference between gender and sex?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
The difference between gender and sex. Gender is female and black. When somebody asks you your gender, like for me, I'm female and you male. Sex is between two partners, like an occur.
Alright, so what's the difference between TV and television?
Let's have it. Come.
The difference between TV and television. The difference between TV and television.
Yes.
TV. Wow.
You don't know?
I'm still confused.
If you don't know, you just tell me you don't know. So we'll move to the next question.
Yeah, move to the next question to ask.
So when Liberia founded?
Liberia founded 1822.
So when Liberia gained independence?
1847, July 26.
So if people from Liberia are called Liberians, how do we call people from Guinea?
Guineans.
Alright, so what's the name of the first president of Liberia?
The first president,
Yes.
Joseph Chingiwawa.
All right. So, can you spell the word Monrovia for me?
Monrovia,
Yes.
Monravia. No, Monra. Wait. But this one, no. Let's say Monrovia. Wait, Monrovia. Monrovia. Monravia.
Linford, Liberia is in trouble. My brother, you muted, talk to me. Liberia is in serious trouble.
You know, I don't know. But it's like the situation with children having children, right? Or child born child, that child is still a child. The parents are children. And I'm only making that comparison to say that the teachers that are teaching these children, imagine that a guy from high school will be teaching high school. This is unrealistic. When we were going to school, all of my teachers, in fact, especially junior high and high school, most of my teachers were foreigners. And I'm not trying to say that those foreigners were qualified more than the Liberian teachers. We also have very good Liberian teachers. I remember in junior high school, I had this old man that was teaching us geography and social studies, and combined with history, Mr. Bryant, in Pastor English. This old man, this man, I learned a lot. To even think about being a journalist, I think I learned from this man, because the old man will come to class. The first thing you will start with current affairs. Which country coup took place yesterday? And somehow we didn't have time to even listen to radio. But the old man, he pressed us until we have to listen to something. So money, you try hard listen to something before you come to class. So we had good teachers those days. But nowadays, you got teachers that they themselves are struggling, even when they read. When they read a book, they find it difficult to read because they came from the same background. So, it's a catastrophe. It's very catastrophic. The fact that the educational system has gone this bad. You can spell the capital city of your own country, Monrovia. Just break it down to syllables. Monrovia. And you say, wait. Okay, but I think she did well because she answered a few questions. But some of the other boys they couldn't do anything. Okay? And the guy said the capital city of Monrovia is Painesville. Yeah, he may be partly right, because a long time ago, before Tower declared to be Benton, it was Painesville. Probably he learned that from somebody. But you see, like you said, the educational system, it needs to be reformed. If anything at all should be reformed in Liberia, instead of saying the building road, this and that, the main thing is the educational system. Because look, we are driving to the next century with people that got no education at all. And if they have some, that they cannot compete with the generation Z or Z.
Yeah.
This generation cannot compete in the future the way I see it. And will end up being brain drained, that foreigners will come to Liberia and run our country and do the essential jobs that citizens should be doing. And this is very scary. I can tell you that, Paul. This is scary. Because these children, they're coming from high school. No, I got people in my family. Some of them graduated from university. I don't want to cite example on other people's children so they can say. I say in my family, when they write. So now it will take me 2 hours to scratch my head to try to see what they're trying to say. First, grammatical error. 2, spelling errors. 3, the sentences are disjointed, no idea. Okay, so this is troubling and this is scary. But again, I hope the authorities will look into it, and the children of the same people who are in government, except for those who got children abroad.
Yeah, so Linford, you quite right, because what happened here, those children, they are the future leaders of our country. Where we all gone, they will be heading Liberia, and they now preparing for the West Africa Examination Council, what we all took. And he asked a young man where the meaning of wax, the thing that he's studying for, he's preparing for. He does not know what is wax. So what does that tell you? You're preparing for something that you don't know what you're preparing for. And then you live in Monrovia. They asked the girl, what's the difference between television and TV? Just something that, and she got confused. Don't know the difference between television and TV. So the abbreviation, she does not even have a clue. So this is the country is troubling. But then what because let's stick with Liberia today, Linford. The reason why, and we'll end the international news later. These people, these young people tomorrow, they will become lawyers, they will become judges. And we are driving towards this, the justice system in Liberia. The question here is this justice system compromised, or how can it be reformed to ensure transparency and to gain citizen trust? To our audience, is the justice system in Liberia compromised? Linford, talk to me.
Well, that's a very good question to ask. And in order for anybody to make a sensible attempt at asking this question, one must lay some premises. Number one, the justice system is almost like very slow. The justice system is like almost non-existent. The justice system is like almost collapsed. And I'm saying all of these to cite some good examples. Now, listen, the most powerful tool in any country is the law. And that's why we all are afraid to commit crimes. Everybody by nature is a criminal. Trust me, Paul. Just say that. The thing I'm telling you, just say that and think about it. Everybody by nature, including me and you and everybody else, we are all criminal in some ways. If we can steal, we can lie. Some people can go and murder. Some people can damage things all around the place. But there is something that keeps us in check. And that thing is the law. And not only the law, but the punishment attached to the law is what makes us afraid to commit crime. Like, for example, you're driving on the road. They say you are in 60 zone. You're not supposed to go 65 or 70. And you go in 65 or 70, and when the police finds you, they will give you ticket and you will pay. So you will know at the back of your mind that this is the punishment for driving 70. So you will always make sure to hold on to your system per hour. You understand what I mean? So the law is the most powerful thing in the country, not the president, because even the president himself is under the law. You see it? So then it is only wise that the justice system will be sharp, will be ahead of everything. In order for that law to be functional, the justice system must be ahead. But in a country where the justice system seems to almost be non-existent, it becomes troubling, and like you said, it becomes compromised. Because some people will say you gotta have money before the law works in your favor. So Paul, you can take it over. Let me do something.
While Linford trying to sort out some issue over there, the question to our audience here is the justice system in Liberia has been compromised? And if so, we want you to drop a comment, because this is quite scary. In recent days, we noticed that what has happened in Liberia regarding the proclaimed prophet, the man called Saul, and this is something that brought attention to everyone to look at the justice system, that one man would take power into his own hand to abuse power, would dive into that. But the question here is, if the justice system is compromised, what can we do, or what can the nation do to have a reform? Because we will take you back to a few incidents that have happened. There was a little girl that fell in love with this missionary in Liberia who claimed he nearly murdered her, but to her rescue, some motorcyclists got her, and this guy went to prison. He bribed the justice system. He was out of Liberia. The Liberian government called drugs law over $150 million worth of drugs. These people were convicted, went to jail for a few days. The justice system in Liberia let them out free. So, and I will take this back to when we were kids during the Toba administration. There was a boy that used to work with a Lebanese man in the Lebanese man's store. He was choked for a peppermint kernel. That time we were kids, and that guy got away free. So the question here is the justice system in Liberia have been compromised? And if so, what can they do to have the justice system back to normal? Because with our law, I mean, no one. So leave for this is the question, and want our audience to chime in too.
Okay, just in case anybody wants to call, we have a WhatsApp number. The number is actually rolling on the screen, but just to repeat it for you, the country code is +47 99 450 882. Once again, country code +47 99 450 882. So you can call and tell us your experience with the justice system. It could be that you've been in court before, or you have a case pending in the court, or you've already been there and out, and you can tell us your experience about the justice system. And let's hear what, or let other people hear what you have gone through, so that they will be able to answer this question, whether the justice system in Liberia is compromised. Paul brought up something. You know, this guy, self-proclaimed missionary, who was married in America, came to Liberia and started having affairs with his own student, turned around and married her traditionally. He intended to probably about to leave and go to America, so he intended to kill this girl. And he was caught red-handed. I think on the Somali dry highway, or what they call it now, Japanese highway, and some motorcyclists were on the spot and they were able to redeem this girl. And this guy, the next thing we saw was this guy was going through the RIA and he left the country. He did not even escape under the cover of darkness. He drove with confidence. He went to RIA. The security at the RIA let him in. They processed his paper at the check-in desk, and he got his clearance, and he loaded his baggages on the flight, and he left and went to America. Now, those of us who are Africans that are here, or in the Western country, or even those who have been here, whose parents were slaves that were born in America more than 500 years ago, you are still guilty as men of color. We are guilty before we even commit the crime. As men of anybody who has lived in foreign land, especially in the Western country, I'll speak for Europe. In Europe, you will be guilty already in the eyes of the law of the people before you even commit a crime. And let alone you commit a crime, forget it. You are gone. Like we say, Liberia, your own will go. So this is a man who are cutting somebody's throat. And people rescue this girl. They saw the physical mark, even though the law says you are innocent until proven guilty. But this man never went to court. And that little girl will live with that scar forever and ever. Okay? So anybody can ask a question whether this justice system that we have in the country is working. 3 of our own citizens, young men, energetic, were working for somebody. Somebody called them to go work for him. Those children got missing. Today, the only story we can get is they got drowned. Even if they got drowned, who did the investigation? What proof do they have? And the guy who these people are working for is working scot-free. He didn't even go to court. He didn't answer any question. Auditors, my own brother and friend, former workmate, Emmanuel Patton Yeswa, a very nice guy, very cool guy. By the way, Patton and I, we lived together in the same room for almost in Harmony, but all us down the old road for almost half of the year because we were working at the radio station, and we decided to take a small room and just stay there in case we finish work late, then we can sleep there. Okay? I know him very well. I knew him very well. This boy was killed in cold blood in his own house. And they said he went on the balcony and he slipped, he fell and he broke his neck. Nothing came from inside. Matthew Innes got hit by a car. Nobody know. The security guard there, they took him straight to the morgue. They didn't carry him to hospital for medical sources to declare him dead. So even if you are breathing, the fact that car hit him, somebody would have knocked your head, Google. When they kill a snake, and the snake still shaking, they should kill a Google. And what I mean? So, and then another guy was in a taxi, and they chopped the guy on the head. The taxi went hit the wall, they said that a glass broke, and chopped the man all over. Hey, what kind of taxi that? Then, and the driver that driving the taxi, nothing happened to him, but happened to that passenger. Then, two other people, Gifted Lama and when they got in, they died in the car, they say that it's just kidding.
Yeah.
So, and as we speak, those cases, nothing. Besides that, there's rescue government. They came on the mantra that they will be able to fight corruption. They will other people, the government before them, Joshua government, up to now. They started impounding taxes. That's what they were doing. They set up asset recovery team. That taxes they started with. Up to now, we have not seen the recovery team has carried some cases on, and they have won some cases. But as a librarian, I'm not talking about the rest of the people, but as a librarian, I have not seen anything, any report that says, okay, this is what we confiscated this racial play from social person.
Right.
Nothing. So the justice system, in my view, Paul, because you got to answer the question here. In my view, this justice system, it is compromised, and not only compromised, it is corrupt, and because this is what Prophet Key said in the Orgachitri, it is corrupt and compromised.
It is corrupt and compromised. So say Linford and so say Prophet Key. But then to add to what Linford have said, it's also been backed by evidence that one of the director in the rescue government admitted on their program called Cash, I call it the Cash Reloaded instead of something reloaded. And listen to this, then to elevate the conversation more. This is what Mo Ali said.
Before you go to Marco, there is one other information now. We keep talking about there are corrupt judges here, and some people making the court system corrupt. You know what they're doing now, especially in the probate court.
Yeah.
I can see your land. I go there, get the deed, go to the judge in the probate court, bribe him, and he probate the deed, sign it and stamp it.
The last time I talked here, the FTC that joke.
No, I mean I got that confirmed yesterday and today. People,
can you imagine?
Said it to me. They're doing it. It's a money making thing for them. Somebody called me just today to explain.
This is dangerous. This is dangerous.
Today.
So, by evidence of that, Mo Ali are confirmed to the nation that the justice system is compromised, they are corrupt, and Prophet Key made an allegation against the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice, he said that this guy is corrupt. He been taking people land, he had built hotels, so. But then he summoned Prophet Key. They sent him to jail for 6 months, but the reason why they sent him to jail was based on the mine power cost, but not on the corruption allegation that were laid against him. So this justice system in Liberia, today there is it been alleged that those guys who sodomized the 15-year-old boy, they are one of them, the one they called, he's now on the street of Monrovia trying to leave. He's not in jail. So what sort of justice system do we have in Liberia? Do we have a justice system that only favor the richer or the rich business people, not for the poor people? We know that people have cases on the dock of the Supreme Court for over 10 years, since early time. Some of the cases have still been in the Supreme Court. I gave you one incident. The CDC party headquarters, that case has been going from rack of ages, just recent time, it ended. So they have cases on the dock that have not been taken, but the guy who does the man cause, power cause, were able to go to the full bench of the Supreme Court for some reason known to them. That is something that we need to talk about. Was it right or was it wrong? But why is the Supreme Court so compromised based on the evidence from Mo Ali that the Supreme Court is corrupt? The land issue, people can go to the court, you buy your land, you bypass the judge and bribe him, they sell the land to somebody else. What's going on, Linford? What should we do? What should Liberia do? This is the question. Without a court system, we cannot have a better Liberia. So I can get money, I can go do a mayhem in Liberia, bribe the judges, and get away. What become of the poor people? Talk to me, my brother, because this is quite annoying.
No, but and you ask another question. What should the people do? What should the Liberian people do? Look, listen, the Liberian people cannot do anything. You know why I will tell you why. You know why I say that. The Liberian, when it comes to the behavior of the judges, the corrupt behavior of the judges, okay, the citizens, including me and you, cannot do anything because these judges are not elected. Well, if they were elected by us, we'll say, okay, send this particular judge at this particular court is performing so dismally. Next election, we're not electing. The senators, the president, they work for us. The representatives work for us because we go to the polls and elect them, but not the judges. So the judges, they are appointed by the president. And so if you see the judges being corrupt and compromised, it starts with the president because the president himself could be compromised or could be corrupt. So listen, Paul, why do you think if I appoint you to do a piece of job and you're not doing that job and everybody see that you are doing something else, if I don't dismiss you or relieve you from that job, it means that I approve of what you're doing. I'm in line with you. I got your back, like we say. I got your back. So nothing can happen to you. This is common sense. Nobody needs to go to Harvard to try to interpret it that way. So the thing is, the president himself is condoning it. And I can give you one good example. This president, he always boasted that you are going to audit judge we are government. But what is there now for the president to audit we are for that he the president, had not done? This is a president who came to power. He said you are broke, you are living on loan. Number one, he been living in the same house where you were born in, so to speak, idiomatically, because he been living in that house for record ages. And I understand it was family house. I don't know whether he built it or how it became family house. And of course, like the library they say, so some can be true, some can be lie. I don't owe anybody to be exact. To say I always talk the truth. I can say things I heard and I'm not too sure, I don't approve. So I heard that the president lived in a family house before, and you're living there when he became president. From the president's own mouth, he will ride wheelbarrow to go to work, which I know could not happen. But he made all the promises. And at the end of the day, he's not riding wheelbarrow, he's driving over $100,000 car. So Tuesday, 1 million. I don't know. Okay. And the next thing, this president in his own home, he building retirement home, but branding a honor ECOWAS or from OAU, I call it Manual Rural Union. So what is there for this president to audit George Weah for, or even audit Ellen for?
Okay,
the president will back all the corrupt judges because he knows that I don't want to go that far.
Megan thought. Let me hold you there because this is what we're trying to elevate the conversation now. One man is elected at the executive. 103 persons are elected as the legislature. The executive appoints the judiciary leaders, right? Now, we model this thing after America, but in Liberia, it does not work. It's pure dictatorship in Liberia. We don't have democracy. It's pure dictatorship. So when a justice system is good, because the American model that we copy, you can interpret the law that, look, the president, you're going beyond your mark. But in Liberia, the president have absolute power, influence over the other two branches. So do we have a democracy in Liberia? Which in my mind we don't. We have a complete dictatorship in Liberia. Because look at the Fanatic Kofa case. That is stepping a mark on the judiciary system. You see what happened? Because they were so compromised, that happened on a Boyka. He breaks all the law regarding the tenure position. The court said this is the law, and he broke it. No punishment. So the legislature have all power when the president step a mark to hold that president to book, but it's not. So on the other side, the Supreme Court, because the president appoint the guys in the Supreme Court, they also afraid to say something against that one person. So the question here is to elevate it more. Do we need a referendum to have a new constitution, to have something that will be put in the constitution that the justice system should be able to elect their own leaders instead of president appointing? That way, they will have no fear of the president. So this is why I'm saying, what can we do? We need some sort of reform. The reform not only for the justice system, but for the entire constitution. We need constitutional reform because people seem not to know what their functions are. What say you, my brother?
Let me tell you one thing. You know, how did this present constitution we're using, how did it come to be remodeled in 1985? Was it 85 or 86?
1986.
Okay, 86. How it happened? It happened almost under a military government. And in order for that, because when the coup took place, everything was suspended, the constitution was suspended, everything. So they were operating by decrees, military decrees. So in order for them to come to power at that time, they had to redo the constitution. And I'm quite sure that when they were running the military government, they were also studying the constitution at that time. And they saw loopholes. So they said, well, we got to make these changes to suit our condition because we want to transform from military regime to, legitimately elected government. So now, I can say that the 1986 constitution we're using now was a product of the military coup or the military leadership. You see it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, so the only way, and I am telling you, knowing Liberians, knowing even me myself included, knowing all Liberians, the kind of people we are, the only way we can act, you put fire on our back, we are turtles. So nobody, all the politicians all the people you see running around, because number one, they are all recycled politicians. They be in this thing, but in government for something yet. So that kind of mean think you're going to go reform and you allow any referendum to take place to change the current system that is supporting them? No. So the only way, I'm not inciting anything, but the only way, like if military government take over now, they change our whole damn constitution and redo it. That only time we'll have reform. But you sit down, you say, Boaga then will do it, or Jogia then will do it, or one Joe Blow, something like the prince, something like jackass. They will implore the elected and making president say you will do it a lot, brother. Because the reason is that they all will benefit from the current system, the current corrupt system. Look at lawmakers, and Liberia is the only country where lawmakers that we elect will go to the pool and elect them all the time. That they will stay in front of us, the population, and tell us how much will be their salary, how much they will make. Instead of we that elected them. I have not seen this thing anywhere in the world. Even if you are consulting for me, you can't tell me how much to pay you. We can agree on the price. But our lawmakers are the only people in the entire world employed by us, but they can tell us how much they'll make. This is annoying, and this is disrespect to the population. But again, like I said, we are tortoise. You don't put fire on, or will not move, and none of us is thinking, or the population is not thinking that, no, listen, these people work for us. Hell no, there is no way that they can tell us that they'll be making 15,000, 10,000, or no. We should set the price. I mean, the salary scale for them. But at the same time, they are lawmakers, and they made their own law, and nobody can change it. So, my brother, this current system, this current law, this current constitution, it supports the officials of government in many ways. Look at, they say the president.
But Linford, Linford, if you look at the comment here, says Dottie says something. If you look at it, it's regarding look, we are the CEOs of the government, of the so-called government, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so we know something is fundamentally wrong with the system, the entire system. That means the constitution that they use, something is fundamentally wrong with that constitution. So for it, if we leave it with it, greedy, corrupt people, it will never change. But the citizens have the right. We need to start a movement here across all platforms to electing a mind of the citizen that they have the right to actually call for that constitutional reform. That's the only way.
Let me tell you.
We look at what happened in Burkina Faso. I'll be honest here. Yes, talk to me.
Dole and Kajevo, they are thinking normally. They are thinking like normal people from normal constitutional democratic state. That's why that's what they're thinking now. But Liberia, I can tell you, we just bearing that name, democracy. We are not democratic at all. Like Paul just mentioned, you got the president with all the power. You know, when I was growing up, we used to be playing also. They get what's a small ball. So as I know that end or what, but you get plenty low on the bar. I know what he ever saw before. He can be fighting to carry that thing. So that's how our president know. He got all the power on his back. So he can decide what. Now, what you're saying, Dolly, is right. The people, they can do a lot. They can call for peaceful protest. But, hey, man, the people go protest. Then they bring hot water. The president know that they're going to protest against his interest. They will deploy the police before the protesters even get outside. The police is sleeping outside waiting for them. Starts wasting hot water on the people. How many times people know protest? People have protested all around the town. We have seen some of the biggest protests. June 7th, this one, that one, that one. Nothing. The first thing the police will dismantle them before they even assemble. You see it? So, like I said, these people are enjoying. These people, they are benefiting from the current system. So none of them, I'm telling you, that this is my opinion. Don't take it or accept it. The only thing that can change anything in Liberia, especially when it comes to the law, that's gonna rule awakening. That means your whole damn law, tear everything and rewrite it. Or else, all the job them, all we electing, they be in government all their lifetime. They will use that same system. They know it well. Now, listen, I was about to say something. Okay, let the law, what they say the president, when he or she is in power and she does wrong or he does wrong, you cannot punish them. You can't do anything to them. Even if they leave power, they cannot be held accountable for anything. And you see the effect. What happened to Nuka? When Ellen children then damaged Nuka, what she did, she said, I take responsibility. As if to say, Raul selling him off to go in the court and talk for himself. She said, I take responsibility. And what happened? Yeah, we can't do anything with the president. Look at that kind of law. When in America, the mother of all democracy, when their president does anything, they can press you. What happened to Labour? Sarkozy from France. Sarkozy is in jail. Former president is in jail. And beside that, around the world, several presidents go to jail for doing wrong. But Liberia is the only country that says your president can do anything. He can keep all the people in the country. They can do anything. Once the president, you can't do nothing to them. Even when they leave the presidency, you can't do anything to them. So the people can do a lot. I know, because the power, according to the Constitution, the power is inherent in the people. But does our Constitution allow it? No. When the people get ready to go march, they bring fire truck and water tank and burn them all. So what do people do now? So now we blame the people, all the people that every time the people assemble, something the government crack down on them. So and nobody wants to die for nothing. Most of the people that get hurt during the demonstrations, They go home, nobody takes care of them. Some of them, they cripple for a lifetime. Yeah? So you see, look at the boy, actually Pom. He put himself on fire. Today, you see he's scared, you start running away from him. Yeah? For the same country here. So, so now I don't blame the people too, because nothing can we do. But the only time I blame these people again, so now I don't blame them, but I turn around and blame them another way. Because what? With the demonstrations, it's not working. Protests, not working. So what you do? When you go to elections, this is where your power is actually strong. Remember what these people are doing to you. Your children are in school. You're going through all the hardship. You get that one pen. That pen can change the whole thing. That one pen, just the stroke of the pen, everything changed. The whole group will be out. Then new group comes in with new idea. But they say you electing somebody with 45 years experience. You know what experience can do? Experience, they get good and bad experience. So if somebody get bad experience, they'll bring it. It will follow them throughout. If somebody has good new experience, they will carry it through. So you got one person who knows all the corner in government. You know how to get money. Then then you'll say you get experience. Now you see what the experience doing. He appointed judges, and the appointments of the judges were very strategic. And you are lucky that Sianego, who comes from the opposition party, was going out. So the public made sure he put Yami business. And no, I think about election now in 2029. Let's just forget it. Because they will do everything possible to rig the election. This is a man who was running. He was not president. He was running. He threatened the entire country that if he doesn't win, he will burn Liberia. Now that he's president, you think, and he appointed own chief justice, you think when election comes, he will move easily? Even if you win him, they will drag a case. When you go to Supreme Court, the chief justice will say, no, you're wrong. I'll start ready for now.
Yeah. If I have a caller on the line, caller, can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Dolly Nelson Navik. I'm calling from Norway.
Let's hear you, Sis Dolly.
Let me just remind you of something you said. You and Paul said the same thing, that the only way we have change in Liberia unless we have a coup like what happened in Burkina Faso. Now I say this without any disrespect to anybody in the military in Liberia. But as far as I know, I don't think we have anyone in the military of Liberia with the same mindset, ideology, integrity, and know to do exactly what happened in Burkina Faso. No, I don't think so. You see, you must be a person that really loved your country and really want change for your country and is willing to sacrifice yourself for the people of your country. Liberia, as it stands now, I don't see anyone there, more or less in the military. No, it's not there. Anyone else come as military, they will just bring another, change the constitution that will just benefit them as the dual government did. And that was the beginning of the downfall of Liberia. Now, the people that should be held accountable for what is going on in Liberia now, as I always say when I have my podcast, is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Until we can address this elephant in the room and stop jumping over it, we'll always be other people to blame. Those people that have come to permanently or have come into positions to lead the country, if Ellen had done a good job, they would have even had a seat at the door to lead Liberia. So the only way forward, I would not say we should have another coup like what happened because we don't have anyone who have the integrity, the educational background, the experience, the love for country to do what this young man have done, is doing in Burkina Faso, or those other two are doing in Guinea, in Mali, and in Niger. So until the people of Liberia understand their value, know their worth, and demand what is rightfully theirs instead of running away. The habit we have in Africa is to run to other people's country and look for better lives there. And then we come and demand what we have to demand in our own country. So until Africans, and that includes Liberia, can stop running away and fix what they all have destroyed, there's no need. We have to fight, take accountability. We have to fight, accept we have a problem. Are the people willing to accept they have a problem in Liberia? No, they don't. They're not. Because why? We out here have enabled them, and we continue to do that. And we continue to find excuse. So I will not go for you having another coup that will happen in Burkina Faso. No, because we don't have anybody of that integrity to do that in the military. As it stands in Liberia now. And the only way, as I say, is for the people to understand. And maybe for those judges to understand their value, the word judge. You see, the problem when you earn something, you want to preserve it, you want to keep it, you want to honor it. I don't know how they became judges. I don't know how they went through law school. I don't know how far they went to get to where they at. But you and I know, and judge in this part of the world we live in, we know how far and how long it will get to become a judge. And so do I. They maintain that. They carry it with pride and dignity until we can find the country itself. We as Liberians, look at let me make an example of even us who are out here. We have opportunity to go to school, get better education, go through the system, climb the ladder, get experience. We chose not to do that. We sit around here, we pay this thing to get ourselves titles, walk around, speak big English, write big English on Facebook, and then the next thing we know, the person is Liberia of a position. And we know, we sit there, we know the person is not qualified, but because that's my friend, so I keep quiet and say, congratulations to you, my brother or my sister. So let's start with ourselves.
Right. So
we can continue pointing fingers to those people out there when we ourselves here are doing worse than what the people doing there.
Yeah. So says the other,
it's just my opinion.
Yeah, I got a question for you. With the situation with the justice system that is very compromised, will it require a citizen movement that to put pressure on them for some sort of reform, because the corrupt system not going to change? What would be a recommendation?
The citizens of Liberia, they themselves have to change their mindset of corruption and demand what is right.
Right. Right.
The citizens themselves to change their mindset. Look, every Liberian is highly corrupt. Every Liberian. In the last 45 years, all they know is corruption. You see, before 45 years ago, people were afraid for the name to get dragged in the mud. They have become a norm. People you expect to know better are even worse than the people who are sitting there in Liberia. So until the Liberians themselves who calling for change, make the change in their own lives, then you can stay and call for change.
Right. So we that means we're going nowhere, because the situation here, I don't know if Linford have a question for you, but before you go, the situation that occurred recently at the Supreme Court, what I think the Chief Justice himself, he broke the law. If I remember 1987, similar thing happened under the Doe government, and there's a guy, the late Chair Chipo were impeached. Similar incident. Will this guy be bold enough to bring us some sort of impeachment procedure on this Chief Justice for what he did? Do you think that's going to happen?
No, they would not be bold enough to do that. The reason why Chief was impeached, because as much as the Doe government came and killed President Talbot and all his ministers, there were people that was elected into the House. So some of them remained there. So some of them still had that integrity and knew the law. Look, 90% of the people that sit in the House of Representatives or Senate does not know the law of Liberia, have not even read the Constitution. They can't even read or write.
Right.
So that's the point. We have to, let's go to the root cause of these things. We ourselves who claim to know better, we are the problem as well. Because we elect people who we know are not qualified, who we know are not competent.
Wow.
And we want change. No, that's just my opinion, though.
Okay. Thank you, Sis Dolly. Thank you for your deliberation. That is quite good. I mean, thanks for the show. I mean, Linford, you heard what she said, and this is the reality. Liberia is in serious trouble. Thank you, Sis Dolly.
Well, she made a lot of salient points, and I think she just added up to some of what we've been talking. First of all, let me just welcome some of our viewers or those whose names appear on on my board. Yvette Cephas from Atlanta, Georgia, welcome. Also, Caroline Yimpa and Jonathan Noah, my own sister Mona Quipla, and Mona Quipla Mensa, I forgot the other name. Okay, and then we also have our own man, Francis Mensa, is watching, and he's accusing us of being running two-man show. Francis, he's supposed to be here to kind because you support this government, and we also want to say welcome to our own brother Kai Jevo, as well as Dolly Nelson, whose voice you just heard. She also is a contributor to this show. And for those of you whose names I do not see on my board, but like what Dolly was saying is real. Like I said, sometimes we tend to blame the people, but again, at some point, I don't blame them because how much can they do? Where I blame the people is that you have the power to elect good people. And how do you exercise that power? Right in the voting booth. No, they were not allowed from the government all the way to Taylor government, even though how brutal they were. But when time for election, there was no military man, no policeman, no soldier man, nothing. Nobody in Abu with you that you alone there, you and that paper and the pen. So my people, what's wrong with you? Why don't you make good decision when nobody there hammering you, no government there, nobody watching you? That's the time for you to pay your debt. Let me put it like one way. All the papa thing people can do when you let them, they eat your money, you suffer behind them, they disregard you. That's the time for you to pay your debt silently, no sweat. We used to say, cool, no sweat. You move from there, you add a cat, you vote for the man, but you vote for him. You can sit down, so you eat your money, you vote for a different person.
Okay? Leaford, that's funny. The reason why I'm laughing, because when you said they play some, I got a 1 minute video here. You know those houses, the property that broke down recently regarding people living alleyway, and somebody said something. I want to play this. They can elaborate more on it. Listen to this.
In what way will you reward the president? Just how we reward you presidency, they reward you another thing. What? And the CEO that employed Joseph Baker. So I can dismiss Joseph Baker. In what way? So are you telling us that come 2029 you will dismiss JMB? Surely. 100%. Surely. Wow. So the horse have been demolished. Yes. How many rooms? I have 3 rooms. 3 rooms. Yeah, 3 rooms. Do you have children? Do you have kids? I have 4 children. 4 children. Yeah. So how many household here was living in that 3 rooms? We have 3. That 3 households. Yes. So from here to there, where exactly are you heading? As I say, I'm in tent. Okay. I'm in tent looking for a place to go survive. Okay. So what they call to international humanitarian for anyone who is watching this live video? Why they can come to our ill, and we appreciate them. If you can show where we present they can see.
So yeah, God said he's the CEO. So and what says Dolly said the people mind, the people. So I just want to add that so you can blend your conversation in it. Go on.
So you see, like what Dolly said, that even in the military, I mean, with no disrespect, even in the military, nobody got in mind compared to President Ibrahim Traore in Guinea and the other 2 guys, one in Mali and the other one in Niger. Traore in Burkina Faso, rather. It takes people with strong mind, love, commitment, patriotism for their country to do what they are doing, with all the threats surrounding them. But our people, they go to government to get rich. And common example, the group of guys that were in Ellen government, those ones that got rich, you saw them in our government? No, they disappear. Most of them were underwater. Even with this Joseph Baker, UP government, most of the people, they did not even come back. And then the people that were in Ellen government who were playing nominal role that did not have anything, they're the one that were pushing the Baker. Have you eaten pepper soup with oil before? The water can send the oil on top. But the water under there, I want keeping all the meat, all the small, the everything under there. But the oil just in that on top. You see it say, oh, that is all soup, but the real soup under there. So those boys, they push Bwaka, say he been government for a while, for the 7 years, they pushing up. And that one like brought to a level here, experience pushing up. And they do all the what president will tell you that a major project like what went or what is going on in Lofa in his own backyard is happening that he doesn't know about it. And then the crazy president said, when I tell you that, let alone men who got 45 years old experience. So that can tell you that this old man, probably he's just there shining, but honor him. You know, the car people, when the sun shine, one time it can be dry, you think that it's dry, but go step inside. Now, they put him up, they made him to shine. Because that's what he want to do. He want to be president. So under that no board doing anything. And you see, the group of jackasses will get rich and move from there. The next government that will come is that one of them is seeing recycle people. If that Jovial people want to come back, they come back. I want to even be worse. The other board that didn't get anything, they trade them got their own, but the other people that didn't get anything, they didn't want now start looting. So Liberia is just exposed to looters. And who is the cause? We the voters. So let me just conclude. Like what this guy said in the video is very powerful. And that's the line I'm pushing. That no, instead of hurting your body, you say you're going to protest, walk on anti-stormy from way Pinsway to Monrovia to Capitol Building, so now they weigh water on you, they beat you, you even get money to take out to go back home. You're hurting your body for nothing. When you can do the thing easily. When you can look around, you see other candidates in the race.
But that is a risk factor involved in this. And what I'm saying is a risk factor. There's going election. Think on what I'm going to say. The first round had less voter compared to the second round. Logically, it doesn't make sense because what happened in the first round, people chopped people in different locations, and those representatives and senators, the people that didn't win their seat, what happened? They didn't go back to carry those people back for second round. So that means the tenure in the second round is low. So where that number came from in the second round that went up high. So they have a tendency of playing around the election result. So with what this guy is saying, but how many people like him that thinking like him to start with? So that aspect of that way, they can manipulate the whole thing and people go, it happened on a child.
You got a point.
The team went to Supreme Court. Why would the team say, oh yeah, bargain, big bargain, yet be a runoff? So how many people thinking like this young man? That is the question says Dolly is talking about. Do we have people with that mindset?
You know, there are many ways to kill a rat. You can live in the hole, you put fire, you put smoke on it, you can make it Johnson, you grab it, kill it. But again, we just looking for ways. We're looking for ways for these people to get sense, the voters. I know the citizens uprising, get up, but all I want is serious. People will die, people will get hurt, and properties might eventually get damaged. All I want
but Linford, I'll tell you something could happen in Liberia, and I experienced it. This was 2016. And it was doing early administration, 2016. A group of business people, for some reason, not group of business people, but some people decided they were going to be a mass protest. You know what they did? You remember in the old days, during the Doe era, this thing they used to call React. Some people did that in Monrovia during Ellington. They went, they distributed all of it into all the business people that tomorrow will be a mass protest. For 2 days, people did not come outside. So you don't have to necessarily move on the capital. People can call for mass protests in Liberia. Businesses can be shut down for a week, and you can cripple the government by not going out there. So that movement can happen. So because you know when you put yourself on the street, what they'll do, they'll go after you. So if they have reasoning, say, look, today there will be no market. There will be no market until we have a reform. How? Nobody going on the street. Nobody doing business. Everybody sit home. Business shut down. What will the government do? The government will give to the people.
Yeah, you see, again, I go back to the parable I just gave. There are many ways to kill a rat. You can grab it alive and dip it in the water. It get drowned. You can grab it and knock it down one time and die. You can burn it anyway. But the thing is, the citizens will have to act. I agree, but you got to strategize the best way, And I think there is something called the lesser of two evils. One of the lesser way and easiest way, no sweat, I know is in the battle bag. It's simple, brother, and that has to start from the campaign time. Let people campaign. Now, Joe Biden is campaigning against himself, which is very good. Who told these people to say what they said? Nobody. But the action of the government made them to say what they said, right? And guess what? These people, they got how many children? 5 children. This guy got brothers and sisters. His wife got family. And he also got friends, and his friends too got friends. And some of them are affected double. So the message is going. And so in the campaign time, these are some of the messages that people can campaign on. So Liberian people, I tell you, brother, this Liberian, I grew up in this Liberian, you know us. They will give you the time. Liberian people, yell with me. You run behind a woman whole day, okay. Even though I'm married, and I refuse to marry, may say, let me get agree, small to try him. So they not try they try Bwaka. The people will be going for a new person. Trust me. And making it worse, the government is campaigning against itself. So we're just looking for the best possible way so that all the corrupt crooks can leave from power. How it happens, the end will justify the means.
So there's something there for Mona paper say that's why we do not vote right. Only ANC will help the people in Liberia right now. So the thinking, and I want to play something quickly because you said something that the people Breaker is campaigning against himself. The lawbreaker is campaigning against himself. So I want to put this thing out. It's quite interesting what you say coincide with somebody who said something similar to that. Let me roll this.
Now why you getting the everything? Says I vote me you know what continue local and loma or more man, you're not doing well. Somebody that's an opportunity. You don't got all men, you get all that brought on it, you will get better. All the lady men facing, that's why we are there. He not doing nothing in the country, yes, send a man wrong, poor kids, we are saying he will bring up. He will make sure people say, hospital bill that you have came apart the fee. Who went there, who pay almost $500 US. They get their shot on my pa. But I don't know about what said the first time it was doing job we have with him. Getting my point, I won't talk about what told you, give me a man. My pa was sick. I came my pa to the 40 meter hospital. That was taking my pa. Even I pay money that was pay $3,000 US. My pa keep better, he kill you. Half day. I thought she got 9 that one went to the person in our food. The person, Nana Guame hospital. When you not get money, you don't pay. But they Guame doing a business woman, I said, what I sell value. When you go on, you're going to tell rock on the oil beach, I want to sell. I've been selling for same money, the 14 what I say. Who know what you saw here? The 4 men say what you said, you can save your money. You know my age? I'm 21 years. I get married next month. I pay myself. My daughter into I go someone I pay $500 for all. That come paying it, but you have to build trust for the people. I'm tired telling what I say. Even to say another thing, but I have to make my own money because I used to helping my men to make money. I'm not a liability woman. But what I say you will do for her. You not do nothing, That 50 share. Every we want to tell you can. You this year I will use that money. Trying to put the money, you were sharing the money. The poor are stealing the money. Why are you the money? You go pay my son of far. Ain't nobody my son. The government say that my son, I know for more. If I say, you pay my son.
Now, I'll just bringing this on to elevate your conversation on what the Boyka is running campaign against himself. These very people that stood for him that walk in the so-called feces water. Before you conclude, there's another one here because there are different clips from different media institutions. The first one we had that was Phone Network. This one is okay. There's another radio station. People going around the country asking people what they think. This is where the conversation becomes very interesting. Listen to this one.
First thing I want to say, the government is not doing well. Yeah, like what they're doing now, because for me, I was doing my business as a tailor man. I was working out in Gabriel there. I was having my tailor shop there. The way they break our area then is not right. Maybe when you want the people must leave the road, you should not do it like that. But they just came, they just break our area then. Without even say giving all long time. And they not even compensate or say. They just take off from on the road. You see, they get all 30 days. How somebody will be hustling somewhere, they just can't take them from there in 30 days. So really, for me, the thing that the government doing is very wrong. Is my only hope in the city here, me and my family. We living back. And I get no other hope besides from God straight at that work I'm doing. Here for now, God in heaven know I'm not working, I'm just sitting here every day. I just sit there and I even get place here up to now. I fight to get place no way. To find spot now when you go, the people can charge you different money. If you say to find a shop now on that road, it's very difficult. It's very difficult for me. Sometimes I even ask people can say, oh, things are very tough, this and that. People are being happy, no way. So really, I'm feeling hurt.
Come back to you.
You are hearing this one.
You are campaigning against himself. What say you? Is it the time that people now start looking at people that will, because the lady talking about jobs, the other man is talking about job. The previous video he said he got 4 children, he know where to go. There's no jobs. You break the people home, they have nowhere to go, no jobs for their family. What say you? Talk to me. I want to try for you to elevate the conversation more.
Okay, so let's look at the statistics of the vote, right? Let's say if I got one way, and let's just be hypothetical, that one way 1,000 people, and the other people that we have 900, and all the other people that have 10, 12, whatever. So we listen to 2 guys who are victims. So subtract 2 people from 1,000, now 998 right there. And these people, maybe their wives and brothers and sisters and their children, that's when they are of voting age, they voted. Subtract all of them from there. The vote is reducing. So you see, the exercise is still going on. They still bringing down homes. I'll tell you, Liberian people know. Liberian, they are no Liberian well. They myself. These people, they can do all the good for them. You can do all the good for Liberian people. Or they themselves can do all the good things. But one small thing can spoil everything. Trust me, they breaking down of these people whom it was very untimely, number 1. And number 2, they did it with no compensation at all. No, guess what? People who got horses to rent in Liberia now, they will start giving notice to their tenants. If you're paying $25 for one room, they'll tell you, the landlord, yeah, we got one money, because you see demand. This is demand and supply. Okay, so you have to say, for starting from next month, you start paying $30
or 40
or 50. So you'll be forced to accept it or move, because you will not even move. Somebody coming in, because no place they demolish. Somebody get 4 children. You can't go start with family people. If you go start with family people, maybe the family people start with dinner and get children. They have one small well behind the house. They should draw that water, some water leans out. But you carry on 4 people, you draw all the water get dry. After 2 days now, the family then everybody start twisting. So you see, everything got effect on people. And you think these people will go stand and say, okay, we're voting for this thing, president again? No, the government has voted voted against itself, has run a campaign against itself. And I think this is where the Liberian people will now learn sense and say we've been making a mistake for too long. It's time for us to change these people. And Liberian people, I'm talking to you directly. No, Charter said something one time. He said, first fool is not a fool, but second fool is a dense animal fool. Is a dense animal fool. You know why? Because you can lie to the woman the first time you pregnant her, but you can lie to her to win a baby. If she agree, then she's not thinking. So your Liberian people have lied to you and they mistreating you. Because when you put them in power, you got no power over them again. The t-shirt and thing, the bag already gave you that time, that one you paying for so. And they're waiting again to come back to you to give you some more t-shirt. Say no to t-shirt. Go for good leadership.
And but don't you think this is where now because people are talking about jobs, and President Burka talked about jobs, that they were going to bring jobs, they were going to do everything. No child were going to sell cold water under his administration. The children still selling cold water. That lady said JFK is no longer a government hospital, so she had to pay $500 for fatherhood. That so there's no more government hospital. And I was in Liberia during registration time. People pay $60 to $80 to register their kids in government school. Some people do not have that, so they stay selling children won't go to school. So that means there is no government school, there's no government hospital, and there's no job. So people now are fetching everywhere for survival. So don't you think, is this where benefit people like Cummings that have now and become president in Liberia? He keep talking about job creation. You think with that sort of message resonates with these people that don't have jobs? What do you think?
No, let me tell you, Liberian people, again, I will compare them to women. And I use women as my example all the time. When I get there, I get plenty of sisters. I get 8 sisters. 8. Okay? Then, I got 2 daughters. So, I've just lost my mom, so let me move my mom from there. So I respect women. I'm not any misogynist here. But women, they are very special people, and that's why I will compare Liberian people with women. And the reason I do that is women are good judges. Imagine a woman dresses from home and gets outside. The moment she gets outside, she see 100 men, about 78 of those men got interest in her. But it is that woman who will say, with all the men floating behind me, you think I'll say yes or no to all? No. So she'll say no. So now she'll not say no because she didn't like you, but she'll say no to afford you. Okay? Until she will be the one to make that judgment and say, okay, out of the 100 men, at least I'll give one chance. Based on her own judgment, her own criteria that she has set. So if I were to become president, I'll make women will hold key positions in my government. 1, Chief Justice. All the judges, half of them will be women because they will make good decisions, I believe. So, Liberian people are the women. They will give you the chance and you break your own neck. So now they know what has unfolded from Wiata until now. Because they are giving these people their chances. Imagine, man, if Liberian people are not going to elect, the paradox. People will always say, oh, that boy who succeeded in football. Why you left that boy? If people have given a poor chance, like bro, be big today. He was going to bring people, his friend in the international community. So we are beginning president, who can know like bro? Arsenal Wenger, who is pensionist, who ain't got nothing, he hustling, that he the one he brought to like bro. Who asking? So we was a flop. Boaka is a local giant. That's how we call him. I flew in Boaka only to be exact on the 24th of November. They go in November. He flew with us on the same flight from Liberia to Ghana. Nobody know the guy. The guy entered the flight. The people made an announcement that he was on the flight. The flight was normal. He did not even come to greet his citizens. People, you get them on board from your own country. The plane is taking off from your country. All the people, half of the people on that flight going, they are your citizens. For him, they get drew the curtain in front of us because he was in the front. For him to even say, oh, my people, your hello. Those are leadership. He didn't do it. They put in one corner. So this guy's a local giant. The moment that guy, the plane taken from Ralphie, he's a local giant. Nobody knows him unless people sending for him, the group that's sending for him. And speaking from experience, Ellen Johnson with all the international accolades, What happened? She came here 2 times. When she came, we like people, we don't want to carry her around. We started with her in London. We brought her here for the Nobel Peace Prize. I would say now here. So you see, and in Liberia, they respect those people because he's president for the country, of course. Okay? And we had an argument in the plane. When the plane landed in Ghana, they say they announced that nobody should get down until the president gets down. So everybody was sitting down. But then Ghana guy was tired. He just stood up to stretch it back. Well, I know that Unity Party supporter. Oh, he started shouting. Hey! And the guy was not even to the eye. He was saying that to the window. Two other people in front of him. Hey, what is it for? Hey, you see the president? Oh, man, everybody tell that guy. So our president, I told him, I said, look, the president is president for Liberia. This is Kenya Airway. If we are in a country, we are in Kenya. So that means that president right here. And everybody started laughing. Yeah. You see? Right. So you take this old man who has no experience outside, only local giant because he's been in government for years. So and you heard what the guest said. At least Joe used to go. They say they accuse him. They say he can bring money. They divide it. But what you bring in? Yeah.
So let me answer friends here asking a question. So how Mr. Cummings will create jobs? I think Mr. Cummings did an excellent interview lately on OKFM, and that very question was asked. And he said to start with, Liberia is a country with a youthful population. So the first thing is ecotourism. And what that ecotourism means, from if you fly to Ralphie, they take you to Cape Mount. You don't have to be a skyscraper. Though hot, the white people love those other places. So who provide the services is the very young people that don't have. So you have customer service.
You'll be cleaning
exactly. You'll be serving people. You'll be serving. So that's to start with. Customer. And he talked about infrastructure in his.
And that's not government job. We'll be talking back to back. I don't want to forget. So, Francis, when those people are cleaning there, they're not working for government. They're working for the private people who build those things. You, Francis, you could build few cabins in Maryland County, and people can go there. The people are paying. They're working. But what creation of job they're talking about is to put people in the government to block the payroll. Look at Brandon Samuka. They go get some kind of job. That probably what ministry is supposed to be doing, or the GSA is supposed to be doing. Tell me, does that make any sense? Go ahead, Paul.
So he talked about infrastructure, and one of the things he talked about, Liberians are homeless, housing. Who's going to build a house? The very young people. There'll be plumber, mechanic, plumber, mason, how you call it, electrician. They're going to sort out jobs. Another thing is, when they talk about infrastructure, you see the cemetery on Central Street that the Soko have dug those skeleton from there. You turn that whole place into a shopping mall. Who's going to benefit? That is job creation. So let me help the Unity Party people. Those are simple things. But breaking somebody's house down, but not giving them some sort of compensation for them to do something, this is what happened. So if you build a shopping mall, and that mall, you give it to Liberian businesses to rent property there. They employ other people. So it's not a job Joseph Barker created where he said, Mo Ali make it explicit, clear that the plenty chips said all that job creation, the Shushan bought that job creation. It's not that kind of job creation. But whereby when you have ecotourism, where you encourage people to come to the country, and before you have people come to the country, he said that we have to reform the justice system because nobody want to bring that money. So that's where he lay it out how people will have jobs. So Francis, at least you can tell the Unity Party people these are ANC, Mr. Cummings' idea. If you start doing it, it will help our citizens in the houses that he broke down. Those young people that don't have jobs, maybe in the direction Cummings has given the solution when he spoke the other day about this is how we move Liberia forward. Unless Liberians are listening, and that is where he will start from. And then now when all of those young people come from school, they're doing their little customer service, they're making the achievement made in a little guest house, all gave them little hand out for them to sustain themselves in a way with dignity. That's what he meant. Job creation. Live for flow.
Yeah. And okay. Francis is saying that let Cummings start the ecotourism business first, since he has the international connection. Listen, Cummings does not have to do that. Ellen Johnson did not do anything. Ellen Johnson had one house in Liberia for herself. Your mayor president.
Yeah, Joseph Banker had no, he had one old ratty house in 4 years, he now building $10 million mansion.
Hold on. Duo was serial man. He was living in government property. Then he turned around and killed the government. He killed the president. Then he built Taylor brought war. People die. Taylor became president. He built houses. Joe Walker worked in government all the years. What did he do? In fact, he was broke. He was poor, according to him. And now he say no. New friends, so listen, he was broke and poor. So why did the Liberian people elect him? So that's not a criteria that coming out to start business for it, coming out to start giving money to people, coming out to elect, or employ people before you can vote for him. No, it's not a criteria in Liberian politics. If coming is the single, if you listen to that interview, he said this is something that he does, but he does not like to talk about it. Comey is the single Liberian presidential candidate who has done a lot for a lot of people, but he does not boast about it because he doesn't feel that these people, he doesn't feel that people deserve to be exposed. That you give somebody one cup of water, drink, so man, you can't give him the water. No, I mean, he's being a humanitarian. But let me tell you, and more Ali talking about people selling plenty chips and all the things, no, that's not job. Those are business people. Just like lonely man selling in his store. That's not job. You don't know I created a job for him. He is rather creating job for people. He's a businessman. So if I'm selling my cold water in my fridge, government had not created a job for me. And one thing the government could do also, or common sense government could do also, Francis, is to empower young people. Like you got a lot of graduates from MVTC, from all the technical colleges around Monrovia or Liberia, okay? And then give them some loan, create loan for them to start businesses and monitor them. Don't just throw the money in their lap, monitor them and see whether they are growing or not, or they got, get them consultants, let people help them, and they can live. And no, friends, you are living in the Western world. Government owns nothing here. Government got nothing here. The business people, everything is controlled by the business people. That's why if the business people say today, the whole government will die. It will die because they will close down everything. Nothing will happen. Now, I had a conversation with Mr. Cummings in 2022, was that, in Germany, in Hanover. And Mr. Cummings told me something when the football game was playing. He was telling, he said something. He said, no, he said, you know, that government official in Norway that people can run to? I said, no. I said, myself, before I even joined the Labour Party here, I didn't even know the officials. He said, you know the reason why people don't run behind those people? Because all of you are independent. He said, you got a job to go to. So morning when we wake up, you go look for a political party leader to go run behind. No. And he said, look, Liberia is so small. You bring 3 major companies in Liberia, just 3. He said only 3 major companies. Put one in the southeast, put one in central Liberia, put one in western Liberia. And then they start employing master's degree holders first. How many master's degree holders get Liberia in certain discipline? You end up, one company will end up taking all of them. Then you say, okay, let's just settle down. Let's look for bachelor's degree holder. You absorb them. When they finish, then it's okay. Let's look for. So each of those companies employ about 3,000 people right away. You will end up employing all the educated people. Then you start going to look at money track. You are carrying your something, your granty or something away from the ground. The one that on time you take it for. When you get low, you start picking the other one. That will happen like that. And he said you will find out that politicians will be the one going to citizens to ask them to come vote for them. They will be begging the citizens. You come to our political meeting. But now in Liberia, it's a reverse. It's the people who go to any political party and beg, let me join you. They got to lick the boots of people. And that's why we got a problem. So come said it. He said,
you know, in fact, let me add something there. You see, Liberian problem, it's not the people back home. Liberian problem is we that live overseas. We live in our society. I support the Labour Party, but the way my prime minister is going, I'm not supporting Labour because of his behavior. So I look for the next person with better policy that I will benefit from. In Liberia and where also Liberia, we pick with corrupt people When you pick side with corrupt people, you try to encourage other people to vote for corrupt people in Liberia. And this is the problem that we have. If you put in a normal society, which I always say Liberia is not a normal country. In a normal society, if you put people out, you listen to what they got to deliver, how you benefit. In the case of Liberia, what is the benefit of putting a 90-year-old man, the only oldest man in the village, that they gave the colors to brush and people can't eat? That's the reason why now you found people today are crying that where they go more.
Why you getting the party everything? Yes, I vote me. You know what? Continue. Local and Loma or more, but man, you're not doing well. Somebody that's found an opportunity. You don't got all men. You get all that blood on it. You will get better.
Old man, you get Liberia to that man. You think Liberia will be better? The influence of the old man is people that friends say then that encourage people to vote for old men that have no strength in him. The only colors in the village, they give it to that old man to go brush. So the old man can't go brush now. Nobody can play cassava because the old man have the only colors in the village. This is the problem Liberia have. Not only the people in Liberia, but people overseas.
Hold on, small Paul. Hold on, small Paul. And I know Francis just, you know, the same way we can be plugging Francis, you're plugging up, but he knows the truth. No, Francis, it's just like, you know, if you were pastor before, and then you got to know the truth that there is no God exists at all. But you pastor, you've been preaching the truth, so it's hard for you to make a decision, and that you know the fact, you know what we're saying, Cummings is the right man for Liberia, but because you stand for the United Party, so
Lincoln, we have a caller on the line, please.
Okay.
Caller, talk to us.
Yeah, hi, this is Dolly Nelson again. I just need to say something. You know, I started when I called previously, I said the problem in Liberia and the problem that we have in this community, even those of us that live in these countries, that have opportunity to go to school and educate ourselves and understand how system work, we chose not to.
Yeah.
I want to ask any Liberian that lives in Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Germany, Italy, France, Great Britain, would politicians have to open a company to prove to the people before they vote for them to vote for him? I mean, how can anyone who has lived here for more than 25 years, any Liberian for that matter, or any African, still have that mindset? When we should be the one telling the people, no, that's not how it works. Because we're supposed to know better, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
We are into political parties. We vote. We go run campaign. Okay, let me talk about me. Who have learned and understand how system worked. Who have chose to become part of the political party that I feel myself with in Norway. That go to my meeting, pay my dues, go on all of these seminars. How can I tell somebody in Liberia that the person, whether it's Ellis Cummings, whether it's Moruba, whether it's whosoever, whether it's Gonglo, they must open 3 companies first? Is it their responsibility?
No.
Who have we seen here in this part of the world that have to open companies first before they put their hands in the plate to become presidents of the countries or prime minister of the countries we find ourselves in? So we were supposed to know better. We chose to keep our people ignorant. We are the most evil and problem ones. I say every day on my podcast, Liberians outside are the most, because they have chose not to educate themselves. It's the choice they have made.
Yep.
And so they carry on to the people who need help, and they believe them. That they, oh yeah, it's truth. Then you go to a company first. Or then you know that for me first. No. That's his personal money. It's not the country's money. It's not nobody's money. He has the right to do what he wants to do with his money and his contact.
Right.
Until we as human beings try for once to be realistic, as I said to you, Linford, that's why I said to you, nobody in Liberia, be it in or out, has the mindset of Abraham Traore. So I will not encourage that to happen, because it will be worse than what we're experiencing now. It's the same thing I'm talking about. So people should just take a break and stop saying these things, because they should be the one, regardless of your political affiliation. So say, listen, that's not how it worked, though. This is how it works. Then you know you are bringing change to your people. You know you have your contract, you try to educate your people to know better. because you're supposed to know better. That's what you came out here for.
Yeah.
So if we're going back and watching the people there, or we sit here and write these things, and people read them and think, and everybody run with, Liberian people, when somebody says something, they all run with the same thing. They never used to say, let me analyze and say whether this is right. We all run with it.
Yeah.
So we have to stop. Liberians and board need to check themselves. Regardless of the political party, we find ourselves and check ourselves. Ask ourselves some real hard questions and answer honestly. What have I come to learn? What have I come to experience that I can help the people back home? Regardless of the party I find myself affiliated with. It's about Liberia. It's not about individuals. And thank God I was born in the old days. Thank God, I will tell people, regardless of my small body, I got a few more years to clock 60. So when I see people around who are supposed to build better, regardless if you are young or middle age, but you have lived here for more than 20, 25 years, you owe it to yourself to make a wise decision and choose the right thing, do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Sis Dolly, and thank you so much for that. And Linford, what Sis Dolly said, I gave you a story. In 1988, when I traveled to the USS Arrow, and when I went back home, 1989 December for Christmas break, something happened here in my community. My best friend died. When I arrived, he sent for me. He bought beer. He said, come and sit with me and have a beer. I didn't know, because there was when we see him, we run. He said, no, come. And he said something. He said, child of trouble. The thing they see, I've not seen that thing before. You have seen something that is not here. Talk to me. How the white people country look like? Let's have a conversation and drink beer. What Sis Dolly just said, when we leave, we travel to see something that our people lack of. So we need to be the group to educate us to say, no, this is what we're here for. We say we live in a democracy. And when people say, let's go to the pool, the decision you made will benefit you, not the politician. But in Liberia, the decision we made, it benefit the politician, not the people. And we sit in the West, we know that is wrong, and we support them. Linford, what say you?
You see, the thing here is that Liberia is a very interesting place. People will vote for who they like, regardless of whether this person is qualified to be president or to be whatever. And so, and I don't take it personally to be something strange. And I don't hold people for it personally either, because that's a culture, that's a political culture. It's wrong. I agree, it's totally wrong. And I don't want to put my friend and brother Francis on his spot to say he's but I know Francis is really trying to because sometimes we give him tough time on the show too for the UP, but some of the concerns he raising holds no. Some of the concerns hold no water at all. That company should be president before he bring companies. He only started 3 companies, so he could bring even 10 companies. But that's not a criteria. Again, I'll repeat. That's not a criteria to become president for Liberia. Okay, you can come from the blue. The guy who they say King Second, how you call him? Or the one who they sent to Korea. Apeton. Who knew him in Liberia? You friends say you didn't know that guy name until after, even though you were in from the same Southeast. Okay. Yeah, hold on, I'll bring you on. So you see, company does not have to bring companies in Liberia in order to run for president or for Liberian people to elect him. All they need to do, listen to his idea. They told Waka, what idea did he propound to the people, to the voters? No, they voted for him because they love him. They say he gets experience. The people decided that they will vote for him instead of him campaigning. I think he was the least campaigner. They really had that thing memorial during the election. But Liberian people, they can make mistakes. But anyway, we have Francis on the line, and let's hear what you got to say. So hold on, Francis. Let me put you on speaker. Good evening, Francis Mensah.
Yeah, good evening, fellow panelists. Hello. it's kind of outrageous, so to speak, when people think that people in the diaspora who support another candidate are not enlightened, they do not know better. Such an assertion, I think, it does not occur well with whatever political affiliation one has to, one is connected with. Company does not have to be, or it does not have to bring 3 companies or 4 companies into Liberia before he becomes president. But when you compare on the basis of President Borga has not done anything, and Mr. Cummings goes on the radio and says that all the things that President Borga is not doing is so easy to do, and with the kind of so-called international exposure or connection that he has, he shouldn't be waiting for government to bring in companies. Dan Conte, the Nigerian multi-millionaire, the billionaire, they don't want to go into politics, or they're not waiting for government. So if he has if he has the financial and the international connections and the strength, why must he wait?
Okay, can I ask you before you proceed? Before you proceed, can I ask you one question? Do you know that there is a big difference between Mr. Cummings, his position, and Dan Kuti? Dan Kuti is not running to be any politician. He's not, like you yourself said, he got no political interest. He's a pure businessman. So Dan Kuti can even where he got a communist, they are not he's not even connected to them. He got it in different countries to make money. Cummings wants to be president. He loves his country. He wants to make his country good. So that's the difference between he and Dan Kuti. If Cummings wants to be a businessman, he got to bring company to Liberia. He can carry to Jamaica. He can carry anywhere.
He has to bring it to Liberia.
No, why?
He wants to be president of Liberia.
No, you're missing the point now. Listen, but you're missing the point. I am telling you that Cummings wants to be president, and then he wants the good of the country for his people. That's why. But Dan Kuti that you're comparing Cummings with is a businessman, so he can even carry a business to wherever he wants to, once he feel that there's money to make. So that's the difference between Cummings and Dan Kuti. Number one. Number two, Cummings does not enjoy state coffers. He does not enjoy anything from the state. He does not enjoy anything from the taxes. Nothing. Besides his taxes that he pay, and the government is responsible. It's the government responsibility to provide the services for his taxes that he pay. So he can't say because government facing road, Cummings can drive car on the road that he right because he pay tax. So you see the difference. So if Cummings wants to do something, he can do it by his own will, but it shouldn't be a criteria that he should do it before people vote for him. Then what about the worker or the weird that you're voting for? What did they do? So the question will come to you people. So how do you address that? Worker did not do anything.
You have to have. There are 2 ways you go to power. There are 2 ways you.
But you didn't answer the question, brother. I'm not asking you to explain. No, I'm not asking you to answer my question. Answer my question.
You either have people like you or you.
No, answer this question here. What did Joshua and Bwaka do that people voted for them?
Create an impression. Donald Trump is an example. Jonah not a politician, but he got through his wealth and his leadership in his business world and what got him where he is. So you have 2 ways you have to become president. Either be loved or you can use through your financial or political your business progress.
Paul, you got any question for Francis? Because Francis, you're making noise. I asked him a straight question. I asked him what did George. I asked him what did George and Bwaka do before they became president. Then you answer it.
I just answer you. There are 2 ways. The 2 people were loved by the people of Liberia.
Okay.
That's justify that. I mean,
possession 2 ways: either be loved or you create you are known financially, business wise to set to set as an example for the people to follow. Say, yeah, this man he operates his business. He can lead it. He can lead. He can lead a country. So there are two options.
Anyway, Paul, ask a question.
No, I don't have any question.
Okay, but first, just before I let you go, let me get me one point straight. So if Liberian people will set up for love, that love they will eat, man, let them eat love.
I just told you two options. Don't leave me to only love.
Oh, why not? Like.
Oh, you want to cherry pick? I told you there are two loves. There are two ways to acquire the presidency in Liberia. One, you have the people affection and love, and the people trust, and the other one is through your business acumen. If you have a business that going on, then the people.
How do you guarantee?
So, Lincoln, let me ask Francis. Let me ask Francis.
Okay, Francis, there's a question coming.
The affection and affinity of the people.
There's a question from Paul.
Musa Bedi and Lex and Fremont, Thomas Simon Fremont. These are people that may like to become president.
How many times Fremont ran for presidency with all his business that he have in Liberia and the policies that he brought?
Next time will be his.
Oh, next time will be it. So thank you, Francis. But Linford, yeah.
Thank you, Francis.
Yeah, this is what Sis Dolly said.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, this is what Sis Dolly said, which I agree with her 100%. Simon Fremont is there. Dr. Moba is there. Cummings is there. They were in that election. The Liberian people decided to go for the two incompetent people, George Weah and Joseph Barker. The two incompetent, they left all of them. And then Francis is telling us that it's the love. So today is the love. That's the reason why the people feeling the love for Joseph Barker, because they love the old man. And because they love him so much, today now we get people saying, tomorrow, listen to this love. This is the love that Joseph Barker has brought to the people. Listen to this.
You want where will you be the president? Just how we reward you presidency, they reward you another thing. What? And the CEO that he brought Joseph Barker.
That's the love. The love now, they're feeding the love of that Joseph Barker, they love him so much. They say, oh man, the elderly spokesman, he's got integrity. He never stole or done from government. But they same love, it was the same old man that came to London in the 80s for $2 million and some more dollars when those sacked he and Foley family for investment. That the same love, that the same corrupt old man that Amos Sawyer sacked. But people saw and say, oh, he has 50-year experience. This is the love. The love now, people are crying. So, my brother, this is what we face with. The love
in Liberia, we get two love.
People to perish.
In Liberia, we get two love. We get the genuine love, and then we get Dubai love. Dubai love, all your team will say Lord Dubai. So, I'm grateful for you. And guess what? Francis, trust me, the same people who cry today, they will be the same people going to go for Vaga again. Liberian people can hear. I said, the women. The Liberian people get women. And I know all the women, nobody will get with me, my sister. Then, but the higher you are, you can be the woman, you take out all the tea, stay, like one love, you should be behind you. The parent
so let's wrap all the thing here. So I just want to conclude on this, on the love. The love of the two people that would love in Liberia. We love George Weah, he came here for the non-condominium. No hate, no take. We love Barker, he decided to build $10 million mansion in 4 years. So the love is going, and the people feeding the crunch. So that is a beautiful love. So that's how I see it, man. Let's close all the thing. But before we close up, I just want to say that America today is bereaved.
Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, at the age of 74, and he had Parkinson's disease. So he's actually
84.
I mean 84, at the age of 84, he passed away. So the Black Americans actually they are bereaved. So we will look at welcome Jamal. We're about to close the show, but it's good you show face. And
no, but also, we got to do the foreign things first.
Yeah, we'll go. That's what we're leading to, because we just want to sympathize with our brothers and sisters in America. For I know Jackson went to Liberia so many occasions, even during the Liberia civil crisis. He met with Taylor and all that. So he was a great advocate. But I mean, may his soul rest in peace. I mean, he did his bit. So Jamal, welcome to the show. We had a very interesting conversation tonight. Although you came late, we talked about the justice system. We want to how corrupt is Liberia. What can we do to have a better Liberia? So we're just asking people questions. What in it? I suggested we need constitutional reform, because based on constitutional reform, we'll have a better Liberia. That means we'll have people like if they have a reform, the bar association could have their own election to appoint their own leader instead of one person sitting in executive mansion appointing, then they all afraid of this person. So those are the conversations. So, but we are now looking at the international side before we close. What say you on what I just said before we move to international?
Thank you very much for having me. I only got two minutes to say. I'll just say thanks for. I don't have much to say on that. It's just like probably we need to consider other things with the justice system, Paul. What we need to look at is it could be like insufficient fund for them. What could be the conditions, political connections, political partisanship, all those things could be some underlying factors. Other thing you need to look into before, why are they corrupt? Why are they compromising the justice system in the country? Before you talk about reform, these underlying factors need to be looked into. Or are they underpaid? Because they are politically appointed, are they paying homage to their political, those who appoint them? Many other reasons. And if those can, and how can they be independent and transparent? They should be independent body. Those things should be looking into before you talk about reform. Like, could they have independence, their own elections, elect their own, among themselves? So there'll be no interference. So Liberians can trust them, and also saying that they can transparent justice. There are a lot of ways. I'm just sorry I came a bit late, but it's very important we look into the justice system, many other systems in Liberia as well. Looking at the educational system, the healthcare delivery system, many other things are not really going well in our country. We need to be looking into it. How can it be changed, and how can we make Liberia look better? Not only the justice system, many other things linked to Liberia, the livelihood of the people need to be looked into, apart from the justice system. I know if the court is the last arbiter of the law of the country, if that has an issue, that is very, very worrying.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think we'll have another show on this, because we need to elevate the thing. It's going too bad now in Liberia, and we don't know why. Because tomorrow, Jamal, you can go to Monrovia or go anywhere in Nimba. You have some chicken change, you cause mayhem. I mean, you just drive your way, and then the next thing you on air Brussels coming. So those are the things that we will be talking about. But we want to transition quickly to the international side. It's quite interesting that we have the conversation. So before we move, we want to say our condolences to Jesse Jackson and his family. He was a hero in America, the civil rights movement. He did his bit, and maybe we're now doing our bit for Liberia, because we want a better Liberia. We don't want to bring somebody in as a leader to just love the person and then the people perish. We want a better Liberia. So let's move on. Something is going to happen. Europe will go into a serious crisis. I've been seeing it on this program. They had a summit in Germany, but the EU people seems to be preparing themselves to fight Russia. So we were not going to talk about that, but my attention here, something called my eye, is the Middle East. The Middle East is quite interesting. So, guys, Netanyahu visited the White House sometime last week, and this guy is good at pushing for war. The question here is, nobody knows what's happening. With Donald Trump, Israel attacked Iran. They had a peace talk today. There's different peace talks going out. The Russian and Ukraine one in Geneva. There's another peace talk between America and Iran on the other side. So what is going on? Are they really going to go for war? So before I play this here and play, what say you?
My man, I know at first when tension started building up, I was a bit afraid that, yeah, all the warmongering, maybe something will happen. But knowing Donald Trump, who he is, he took all the heavy weapons close to Iran. And until now, this is a man who flew the what it is, the bunker buster from way miles away to go bomb Iran when Iran was fighting Israel. Now that they carry all those things close to Iran and do a bomb, up to now, we hear even pistol fire, they're not going to fight. Let me tell you one thing. America has become a lazy bulldog with no teeth in the mouth. It will just bark. And when barking, people think it is instilling fear into people that lie. But it is barking because of fear for itself. It's a threat. That's why it's barking. All the things America doing. Hey man, when we were going to invade Iraq, how long it took? When we were going to invade Libya, how long it took? And you know the reason why? Because there was this group called NATO. There were these European countries that were falling in line. But America or Donald Trump has stepped on the wrong toes of NATO or the European countries by trying to take Greenland. So they start getting sense now. And say, oh, so we've been fighting proxy war for nothing. This is the reward we got lately. So now, because America wanted NATO to go fight that war. And if NATO was the NATO of yesteryears, by the time we're speaking, so we'll be on a smoke. Nobody going to fire a pistol to that place. Trust me, what I'm telling you, maybe it will happen. But it's still far-fetched. All that thing they did, that just show.
Right.
That just show. No, to amass all the troops, carry all the weapons close to that place. You know what happened? Oh, the warfare this time is not like boots where you put few guys in Vietnam and were running up and down between the trees. No. That Abraham Lincoln or waiting what you carry, the people can destroy you before you even turn around to say going back. They'll destroy everything. So definitely there is no war will fight. I just beam off. They did that to instill fear, but they actually fear for themselves. But they do that to show that, oh yeah, we are the men, we are the rooster in time, but Allah. Trust me, no battle fire any gun over there. And as for the European country that want to go fight Russia, no say welcome, go fight.
Right. So let me play the thing from Ayatollah. He said he spoke today about what you were just saying and the way he classified America. Then I will end with CNN, what CNN how to say. So let's listen to them. Maybe Jamal will chime in.
It seems to them that, and the US president keeps saying this, the US Army is the strongest army in the world. The strongest army in the world may sometimes get slapped so hard that it cannot stand up straight. In one of his recent speeches, the US president said that for 47 years, the US has not been able to depose the Islamic Republic. He has complained to his own people that for 47 years, the US has not been able to depose the Islamic Republic. This is a good confession. I say that he will not be able to do this either.
Linford, you said, I think Ayatollah might have listened to you to make that.
Yeah, they listen to the video. But I've just been analyzing all the time. The America that I know, the Donald Trump that I know, you will carry all your whole aircraft carrier, you put it next to we can fire one. But then maybe they want to take Iran by surprise. But let's wait and see. That thing they will total, it will end up in peace talk.
Jamal?
Right.
Jamal, before you talk, the 12 days war, Iran did something that shocked the world. When Israel attacked, they caused massive mayhem in Israel. That Israel have to beg America to come to their rescue. And Ayatollah is saying here, is this what they just talked about? You can hit them hard. Jamal, what say you? Will that war happen?
Paul, is difficult to say because looking at the geopolitics of the Middle East, well, Iran, I mean, it just looks to be surrounded by so-called enemies that the Arab countries. But don't forget that you have Turkey, you got other countries within the neighbor too as well.
Yeah.
You got Oman, you got Arab countries that are also sitting there watching. They won't like anything to happen. When they're a good friend of the USA, they will not like any Iran US supporting Israel to strike Iran. Netanyahu has been sounding this alarm of war. He's been going around. He wanted to stay in power. He has his own house on fire. So to keep him in the house, to keep those opposition again, from get him out of there, because he's facing a couple of charges in Israel as well. So to keep this beaten war drum sound in Israel, you have to be saying something like attacking Iran, draw the attention of the people of Israel, not to get at him. The oppositions, the sounding of the opposition is loud, getting louder and louder every day, where they have to bring him to justice. And if you keep sounding the war drum of attacking Iran, that kind of draft attention to instead of focusing on him, will focus on the geopolitics or the politics of the region. And that's one. So Oman, Bahrain, Egypt, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, I can assure you those countries are not sitting, and Turkey as well. Those are neighbors to Iran. Yeah. And as well as Iraq. They are not sitting supinely to Paul. They are making sure that, and Lebanon as well, they are making sure that these countries, Iran is not attacked. Not only Iran fighting to make sure that they protect themselves, defend themselves, but they make sure that those other countries are also making sure that there's nothing, Iraq cannot be struck, but it will not be hit by Israel. You know, the 12-day wars, when they hit Iranian missile facilities, the ballistic missiles was the response on Israel.
Yeah.
Also the impact. Now America has to step in, the big brother, to cover up, to help the face of to save the face of Israel. So what I'm trying to analyze here, Paul, is like, it's not just when you say, but just look at it from two angles. The first angle would be like, Benjamin Netanyahu is doing it to keep himself in power, so he can also, the charges that are waiting for him in Israel can be dropped. Also keeping the war to keep longer, so the people will forget that he's basically protecting the sovereign state of Israel against terrorist states like Iran, Gaza, and other countries that are trying to hate Lebanon. That people in Lebanon are trying to hate Israel. So this is the basic thing he keep doing. That's the politics he's doing in that area. And now also knowing that he's begging America to do that. The only chance he has now, Trump is in power. He got to keep talking to Trump to keep helping him to sound this war drum, to beat the war drum. Trump is also good at that. So if you see the situation now, the opposition's voice is going lower against Netanyahu in Israel. So they're focusing. You look like, if you look at the situation, like my colleague Linford just said, the situation in the Middle East is volatile. If you storm down here tomorrow in New York, you think, well, this guy will be attacked tomorrow. That's how it goes. But after some time, it calmed down. Abraham Lincoln, the aircraft carrier was carried around the door of Iran. We thought that the next day Iran would be hit. What happened? Nothing happened. So the point of the Middle East is very, very, you need to understand the people around here. Now, the Arabs don't talk a lot. They don't go out there and just like the Chinese, don't go and have meetings and discuss or make noise, or like French or the English will go out there and make news and stuff. They discuss among themselves. They do a lot on the groundwork. They'll do a lot on the groundwork to make sure that the Iran will not be hit. Iran may not be the like one in the region, but if you hit Iran, the ripple effect is massive.
Yes.
So those are things. The ripple effect is he will hit. When they hit Iran missile facilities, what he did retaliate in Qatar. You saw that. So he will hit back. If you can't hit America because America is far from them, you will hit any neighboring country that is friendly to America. And there where you're spreading the war, you're spreading the hostility is going to spread around the region. So it's not just easy to just hit and just, if you got to hit, you got to be precise. You got to hit and just hit good. If you do hit, you miss. That Iran not going to sit. Iran will give in. And one thing, Paul, I will let you know, You see, the what happened recently in the demonstrations in Iran, people will notice that 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 people were killed. All these Western propaganda.
Yes,
One
it
thing
is.
Iranian, 80 to 90% of Iranians believe that whatever comes from America is not good. They should die. They will die. The government will kill them. They believe they'll come back and heal their government, despite being hit by their own country. But they prefer to accept those deaths, those atrocities against them, and accept America. Few Iranians fled Iran came to the West. They have been supported of the West to carry on these atrocities against Iran. But now Iran is succeeding, getting those guys. I mean, the country says on her side. The government is succeeding getting the country says on her side. Despite though massive, you and myself won't believe that Iran government will be in now. You have been toppled for that massive demonstration, massive, I think, a week or two massive demonstration against the government.
Yeah,
it have been unsettled. In any other country, that was the end of the story. But they were very strong. They remained. So it is a complex situation in the Middle East, Paul. So you look at it from now, you can't just hit Iran and just go free. It will be a ripple effect. That domino effect will happen, and they are very careful. So once this guy Donald Trump got too many business commercial interests in the Middle East, so he has to be careful. There are billions of dollars being run in the family organizations, family clubs that are running in the Arab countries. So if you touch the look, if you keep doing this thing, like I know we don't like, but there's a fight. It's quite interesting thing. If you see that Saudi Arabia and Iran fighting over Yemen, you know that story. They got two groups fighting in Yemen. Iran is not liked by Saudi Arabia, but they will say, "Look, I don't like them. Is that enemy Allah, but don't touch them because it's going to be terrible for us." So if you touch them, it will affect your interest in this place. So it is going to be, if they may hate, they may try some airstrikes on them.
Yeah. So, but Jamal
will be a difficult situation. Major warfare will be a difficult situation to start.
The situation now is not about building nuclear weapon anymore, but Israel is pushing that Iran should reduce their long-range missile because they were affected. So they're pushing Donald Trump. So you get a logic. So
yeah, but Iran is not going to give in to that.
Exactly. So
you know what Iran would do? Iran would not refuse any negotiation. And you want to take anywhere, they will go. While you are talking about building a nuclear weapon, they'll be building them, and that's what they've been doing for how many times? Since we know, I think from George Bush Sr. up to today, every now and then you will see the nuclear energy agents, scientists are going to Iranian compound to inspect the nuclear facilities. What they think should be stopped long time, but they will not. They will always open their doors for negotiations to talk, but then they'll come with conditions. Like I'm willing to talk, but I have a condition on the table. What do you say? They're not refused to talk.
But Jamal, this is funny. I'm sitting now in my house.
Yeah.
I decided to put floor mat in my living room. You in your house somewhere far away in Birmingham or Manchester and telling me, say, you have no right to put floor mat in your living room.
That's the politics. Leave can come on this, but the politics is they just feel that Iran should not have nuclear weapon because they are dangerous. They can release anytime. They have no control over it. So they are the enemy in the region. Anything happen, anything triggers, they can release those nuclear weapons. So the fear is to you there and take it from them. Go on.
Jamal, like you said, there's politics involved in this thing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with having nuclear weapon? Is it evil? So if it is evil, then why does America have it?
And why should Israel have it?
Yeah, why should
they
Israel
feel that
have it?
those countries are self-controlled. Iran cannot control her.
So this is a Western propaganda that they sell out. They will look at one person, they get suspected, say, oh, they meant that man are coming, he get going here, packing your grabbing. The man get going, you're here shooting, but you were afraid there, you are saying you're gone. So Iran will say, okay, yes, it's not going to get nuclear weapon here, so let all dismantle. Then we agree. But if you don't dismantle, we'll have our own, because you cannot tell me you already blended me as a bad man. Then you tell me to disarm myself to you. You grasp your man and say, "My man, disarm yourself." Oh,
yeah. I don't know. I'll say you something, but I don't know if you play it. There was this many money summit that they had on a piece something. One of the leaders said something over there. She said something that quite interesting, that when Russia go to war, they go to war alone. But when America go to war, 32 countries go with them. And we don't win. They're one country that go can win. How come? So why am I saying this? I just want to play this thing this year, and this is quite funny. I want to play this so we can close it on Iran. You get all the 32 countries behind you. One Iran just sitting down there, don't bother with nobody, mind their own business, building their own thing. He said, no, I don't want you having shoes.
But guys, let me, Paul, let me have one question. Maybe I've not been following too much, but which country has Iran attacked for the last 20 years at least? That they just moved and so one for any country in the region.
No. It was Iraq that the American paid to attack them. So that was so let me play the video here so we can close on. This is from CNN.
But the reality is that what he's saying, I'm losing my patience, that I'm going to bomb Fordo. But what after?
Yeah, well, that's the big question.
That's the big question. Is he really ready for Iran that might say that look, okay, they've bombed us, we cannot sit still, we have to retaliate. They retaliate, Americans get killed, or they attack energy resources, they shut down the Straits of Hormuz. Then what? I mean, then United States is going down a path that ultimately will mean boots on the ground. And then, you know, we're in a situation where he forswear taking the United States into.
I just sat back when you said boots on the ground. I mean, there's no talk about that at all. Not even Israeli boots on the ground or tanks or anything like that. They have air supremacy and all the rest of it. But do you think, because they swear up and down that it's not their official goal, but in their speeches and in their words and in their targeting, do you think regime change is unquestionably on their agenda?
Well, let's sort of parse this. Yeah. Israel and Iran will not go to war with tanks and artillery because they don't share a border. And Israel is a much smaller country. So Israel can carry air war, cyber war against Iran. If that does not yield the result and Israel needs boots on the ground, its boots on the ground are called the United States of America. That's the strategy. That's why Prime Minister Netanyahu wants to get America into the war very quickly, because then it actually makes Israel's campaign much more effective.
Jamal, this is what you said about Netanyahu. He pushing for the thing harder, and then this is what you and Linfa alluded to, that it will be a mayhem in the region, and this is what CNN just explained. Jamal? You mute, I was not hearing you.
Linfa, continue. I'll come on. I got some problem here.
Linfa, go on.
Okay. You see, you heard what the guy said. Israel and Iran, they got no land border. So the only way they can fight each other is by some airstrikes, like what happened during the 12 days war, right? But again, Israel is a smaller country. Israel will not be able to sustain that particular airstrike, the cyber war. So what they want is they will create some kind of confrontation and try to get boots on the ground. But then getting boots on the ground will mean that America will have to assist them. Okay? And that's all Netanyahu wants. But the question is, who's going to start? Because if the only way they can have boots on the ground is for them to be present in Iran. Okay? But in order for them to put boots on the ground in Iran, they have to spark something up. And that thing will come through space warfare. And if they 12 days war, we saw the first 24 hours, what happened? So if they start within the next 10, 15 hours, extensive damage would have been caused by both countries, especially Iran would have caused a lot of damage to them. You see, before even thinking about putting boots on the ground. And when America puts boots on the ground, then now, the things we were talking, the analysis that Jamal was just giving, all the other countries will start getting concerned. Okay? Remember that even the devil got friend, Iran, in as much as they may not be liked, they got friends too. You see, and China and Russia, then when that's in there, because if America can come to help Israel, Iran has the right to call for any other big brother to come help them too. So you see how the thing will spread. That's why they have been very cautious not to even start any war. And carrying all that big weapon, I mean that big ship with all the weapon on it, it's risky. America can say, okay, Israel, you can be pounding up with your weapon, but this ship that near or that one we're focusing on, they can sink it with all the aircraft on it. They can sink it. It will be a big loss to America because that's the biggest warship they got. And it was even stupid for me. That was a stupid military decision to take your warship close to your enemy. Like Paul said, in my house. Then you can find me in my own house. You know where I keep in my own rusted knife then. You can find me in my own house. Fine, come on. We'll do it. Iran can war. Whether we lose a war or whatever, but we'll focus on the ship here and not returning.
Jamal, that video says something in Strait of Hormuz, which is a narrow place that you have all the ship passing with oil.
Right.
And when that place is damaged, there will be economic struggle in the entire world. So all of these things happening, it's not just something that they will just putting boot on the ground. Remember, 32 countries went to Iraq. Look at how many soldiers they brought back.
Yeah.
If all the Western countries are occupying the amount of people that came, then you're going to put boot on the ground on the people. Have you seen those people are worshiping? They beat themselves to until they bleed. That's the people you're going to put boots on the ground to fight. Jamal, talk to me that close the show because this is quite interesting.
Like we said, apart from the the good thing that American can do with the support, I mean, Israel can do with the support of America is to do airstrikes. If they want, it has to be precise. They have a precision attack on Iran, and they have to hit hard. When we saw the 12-day war in Israel, when Iran retaliated, it was a massive defeat for Israel. So, and also concerning the Strait, you're talking about is economically viable for the region, and that has to be protected. So, I was telling you just a couple of minutes ago with the neighbors, despite Iran not being liked, they are strategic partners. They are also somebody you can play with. They are neighbor that you don't mess around, because if you touch them, they will spread the virus. They are very contagious. This is the reason it's not easy to fight. Don't doubt that America will not attack. America may attack from air, but America is not there to put boots on the ground in Iran. They're going to get bloody nose. So the Iranians are willing to give their lives if they can kill, consider the Western report, if they can kill 7,000 demonstrators. You tell me, get yourself on that ground. That will be history, brother. I'm telling you, brother, that will be history. So if that's the only one that can subdue their demonstrators, and nobody dare say anything. What happened in Iran a couple of weeks ago would not happen anywhere, and you're surviving as a leadership, any government for that matter. And it happened with the Shah regime. Then when they moved in, before Ayatollah returned from France, I think from France to Iran in 1979, when the citizen came out, the Shah fled Iran. Ayatollah returned. Since then, there has been the Islamic Republic of Iran, and Iran has been very powerful. And the Ayatollah is most religious, the most powerful man, even more powerful than the prime minister, or that you call the political leader, of the country. So he stands, whatever he says is holy. It's very holy, and they will listen to him, and that's why it's how powerful he is. So they may call it kind of terrorism, autocratic leadership or theocratic leadership in Iran, but Iranians don't respect American democracy. They don't like it. They don't respect. That's why they hate their own government. Onto the leadership, America will not dare come to the Iran and say want to put soldiers on and infiltrate into your army and start attacking you on the ground. That's no, it won't happen, Paul. They would not try it, and they would dare try. They can only attack from the air. That's all they can do. That's the power America has. The American can do that, or they will carry too many body bags home. And the American citizens are not willing to do that anymore. That changed when Obama came to power, and when the drones came in, they invested into too many private companies to pay for drones and take over and start attacking countries, their enemy countries, with drones. drones that not like sitting boots. They're putting boots on the ground for America is out of style now. It's not happening anymore, Paul. They will send contingent like can I say a platoon or a battalion to a country to fight fund, but to say they're going to send it on the war front, conventional war, America is not doing that anymore. So
that is very obsolete. That's outdated.
That's very old school. So they're not doing that anymore.
So Jamal, we all know that Iranians have been preparing for years because they learned from the Iraq war. So they built most of their thing in bunkers that nobody knows what is happening. So if you strike them, they will strike back. And that's striking back. Definitely. Yeah. And they're talking, the American and Israel talking about regime change. You cannot do regime change from just attacking from the air. So you have to put boots on the ground.
Let me tell you something, Paul. Let me tell you what happened. In America, the thing is like, they just believe, they have to really read and study the history of Iranian people and know who they are. They are Muslims, but they are not Arabs.
Mm-hmm.
They are Muslim, but they're not Arabs. And those are the guys that are very, very headstrong. When they say the Iranian, they don't give in for anything. They don't compromise for anything. So if they don't understand, look, Netanyahu went up there making a statement that we want regime change. It will follow by Donald Trump. Want to do this. Other country, people, there will be a total revolution against the government. It won't happen in Iran. Regime change, you just say the government going to change? You're going to change your regime? You said now in Israel, Tel Aviv saying you want to change the government in Iran? Those guys are
even talking about airstrikes. No, but yes, I agree. America got powerful airstrike power, or whatever. But it will also be a factor. Now, listen, my concern is that ship they carry. America knows the cost of that ship and the work it can do. So you can't carry it close to the people terrain and go attack them from the air. The people will give them, Jimmy just said, the people will give themselves all and say, well, we all die, but that ship will not return. They will do all they can, and they gotta keep. The program strike Israel several thousand kilometers away. That ship that right next to, they will make sure they go under the ground. All the airplane that came on, they will start flying to go to different places.
But the Iranian tested it a few times when they send a drone to do the one of reconnaissance, and they go afraid to shut the drone down.
So you see, but to close, I think. All the warmongering is not good, and we on the platform we don't support war. We're not encouraging war. But what we just look at the situation as it is and analyzing it from our own perspectives.
Yeah.
But we hope the people who can make a decision will be wise enough to divert any potential threat that will cause trouble. Because we're not talking about the Vietnam War era where you take group of soldiers, put their own Troy and go in the bush. No. One crazy guy sitting there somewhere can get press on a button, everything chakla in the Liberian parlance.
Yeah,
okay?
Right.
So for me, let me just give a final word. I think it was a good show, and we hope to see you guys on Friday for all of our visitors, people who came on the show for the first time tonight, let me recognize again. But was Sammy Jr., it was the first time here, and Leo, welcome, Jonathan Noir, and of course, all of you guys who always come with us. We want to say thank you very much. We will be back here on Friday.
Jamal, you're saying something?
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to just talk about the Iran issue. The Iron Dome, we thought that they usually thought that they were well protected, which were built, supported by the American money, and built by the Rafale Defense something in 2011. I think it was 2011, if I get right. It was deployed in 2011. They thought that they were like, it's the story of the king's new clothes. Have you heard it? The king thing is clothed, but he's naked.
Naked, yeah.
They didn't know that until when Iran hit them. They knew that, well, this is not what we thought it was. They thought that they were protected. They can hit anybody run a hard behind the Iron Dome. Iron Dome was defeated. When the Iranians used their old missiles to attack them, and from there, when they knew that they got running out, they started they start using the more modern ones, and there where they knew that, well, Iran it's not a joke. Look, Paul, to summarize on the Iranian issue is you cannot play with Iran. Iran may not be that powerful compared to America, but Israel cannot challenge. You cannot flex muscle of Iran. That's out of the question. The only thing Israel can fight, they can just cry for help from America, and America come back and help them. That's what happened in the 12-day war in Iran. Against America, between America and Iran. So they should stop making the war. It will happen. It will continue. This volatile. It will be all the story of the region being volatile going to be a news every now and then because Benjamin Netanyahu is speaking on that as a political game to stay in power because he has to face corruption charges in his own country. He has to play that game. He's very good. He's a cowboy, grew and raised in America. He knows a lot how to play with Americans, intellectuals, to get them on his side. He knows that very well. He's one of the guys, the longest serving prime minister of Israel with the game he plays. So people know what he's doing. So that's the issue of Israel. But take it from me. He wants America to strike Israel. Iran. Benjamin Netanyahu want to do that, but I don't know if it's going to happen. America may try and make an attempt, but it will be devastating if they try that. On the note of the justice system in Liberia and other states that did not follow, but look, years back we used to trust our justice system in Liberia, and the system seems to be. I think they are not following the laws. If they do follow the law, they are not. If they read the laws, they are not implementing the laws, and it will be frustrating for Liberia to think that the Supreme Court. We saw in the latest case of the what is his name? The former speaker,
Fanatic Kofa
case. Not only that, we saw in the case of the impeachment of Fanatic Kofa. Yeah, Fanatic Kofa from court when those decisions were made and they were listening a lot to the president instead of making their own decision as another branch of the government. So that was much more of a partisan politics. So things need to change. We don't have to be always say rocket scientists to understand law. We are not student of law. We're not over here a student of law, but we understand that things are not doing well. The recent decision made in the case of Prophet Key, people will say they got morality against legality. I don't know those terms, but we need to look into it. Probably one of those law students here to tell us what is the difference. We will look into that. I was not here for you guys when you went into details, but I said earlier, many things Liberia need to look into. We got other systems not structured well, and they need to look into. So we have Liberia is a small country, Paul, compared to most African countries, and now we have a very disciplined population. If you put the right structure in place, and we will all better enjoy that country. I want to say thank you guys for coming earlier, and I want to wish you well. I may not be seeing me a couple of times because it's the month of Ramadan for me, and I'll be popping in late. So I want to wish you well. I want to thank all those who came in and have a pleasant weekend. I won't see you until probably after 2 weeks.
Thank you, Jamal. My closing will be on the student in Liberia, high school graduate, the potential graduate, 12th grader. So they will do the talking for me, the way I see my country going. So I want to put this off for you.
I want to know which high school you're from. Tottenham High?
No, all the governments high school now wearing maroon.
Because you are alumni. You are alumni of Tottenham High.
So let's listen to high school student. That would be my closing. And this is why some are begging Liberian to do something better, to pick somebody for a better Liberia. So this is my closing. Listen to this.
Yes.
It's been you.
I'm done with the blogger. I'm here with
Prince Morris.
All right, Prince. So what's the meaning of WAS?
WAS is a West African.
Forgot? So what's the difference between TV and television?
You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious.
So what's the capacity of Motorado?
I wish the capacity of Motorado.
What?
The capacity of Motorado?
Yes.
It's been
Shut up, you.
Can you spell the word Monrovia for me?
Monrovia.
Yes.
MONRAVR. No, MONRA. Wait. What is that? No. Let's say Monrovia. Wait. Monrovia. 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 RAVRA.
This is mind closing that we need a better Liberia. We need serious reform in all institutions.
Yeah.
Those are the future leader of Liberia. If we can have things like this happening in our country, Liberia is doomed. So this is the reason why we are talking to our people. Make wise decisions. Stop bringing in people who don't really care for the country. They just there to steal. We have 103 lawmakers. They just ripping the country off. No health care, no education. The country is bleeding. So on that note, gentlemen, it was a good show. And I want to say thanks to our audience for being with us, for those who made their comments, those who called on the show. It was a unique show today. But starting on the 1st of March, every Sunday going forward, this is what's going to happen on the Bottomline Discussion.
In a world drowning in noise, where sound bites replace substance, there's a voice cutting through the chaos. Audience with the Lord Chola Play conversation, where Liberians and global citizens tackle the questions we're afraid to ask. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. UK and Liberian time, and 9 p.m. Central European time, Audience with Lord Chola Play. On the Bottom Line, Liberia explores the issues that keep you up at night. Democracy's future in the age of misinformation. Economic systems that serve people, not just profits. Technology reshaping our lives. Reconciliation, development, and the crisis of meaning in modern Liberia. No easy answers, no tribalism, just intellectual courage, genuine curiosity, and the willingness to wrestle with complexity together. This is for Liberians who refuse to shrink their thinking, who believe nuance is wisdom, who are ready to remember how to think, not just what to think. Audience with the Lord Chola Play Show. Sunday, 8 p.m. Liberian time. Subscribe now. Join the conversation on the Bottom Line Liberia, because the questions that matter most are the ones we're brave enough to ask.